Avoid Infamy. Hello, I'm Marinda Nelson. We get women clear and confident and leading a woman's way, guaranteeing making success inevitable with whatever message they're trying to send, whatever business they're trying to lead, whatever team they're trying to grow and motivate and build that momentum towards their goals. Today, we're starting a new series. It is called Avoiding Infamy. Avoiding Infamy. Now, I like to talk about the things to do, questions to ask yourself, reflections, ideas that you can get going to get your imagination going, to get really creative on ways that you want to align your actions towards your goals. We do a lot of that around here. And I know that some of you come into leadership, come into spreading your message, and you have this one boss that you're like, I will do anything but be that guy. I am not gonna be that asshole. I'm not gonna be that guy. I just am not gonna do it that way. But here's what happens when we won't do it that way is that we go so far the other way. So if you're so worried about being too controlling, say, or being too much of a bitch, or being too micromanaging, or being too whatever your thing is, that I can do this business, but I can't be greedy, and I can do this business, but I can't be pushy, and I can do this business, but I can't be, okay? Then you're going to go so far to the other way. So use the controlling example. If you have this idea that you can't be too controlling, then I can tell you that you are letting people walk all over you. Then what happens is they walk all over you enough that eventually you're finally like, oh my God, like you have to do this way. And it comes out backed in a cage, cornered and distorted. And you shove it down there even more. I shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't be so controlling. Where if we take that part of ourselves out of the cage, you like things done a certain way, and things being done a certain way is important to you. That is actually a strength of yours. So when we take that part of ourselves that we shouldn't be, that monstrous part of ourselves, that caged part of ourselves, out of the cage, and we allow that to be a strength for us. So think of who it is that you're not supposed to be. Where you're not supposed to be. And if you took that out of the cage and undistorted that, how could that energy be a strength for you? If you're so worried about not being greedy, then you're not benefiting from the abundance of financial flow that you could have. Now, the qualities of leading a woman's way, the way to avoid infamy, the ways to guarantee success are to honor your intuitive connection, trust your gut, trust that inner knowing, your silent wisdom, trust that behind the scenes team that you have, trust that intuition. You're inclusive. You're not just talking to your next level down on the hierarchy chart. You're speaking to people on the front lines. You're talking to the mid people. You're talking to the billers and AR and AP, and you're talking to the janitors, the custodians. They see so much. Speak to those people. Okay, they're noticing things that you never would. Now, I talk about ways to do this in some of my other trainings, but including also as decisions are made, you're going to include them. So many companies or organizations will get it just out to the next level. Telephone is a fun game because it gets messed up. So many organizations are communicating just with the next level. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, this is the vision. This is the goal. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is your part in the whole. This is how you are included in this. Okay. This is the whole vision. This department's responsible for this and going to do this. And this department's vision of that. And this is how this flows all together, is your conclusion at the end. Okay. So that's your format for getting information out there. This is the goal. This is the vision. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is what we're redirecting back to where. And this is your part of that. This is how you are included in that. So inclusive has those two components to it. It's integrated. You're weaving different parts of your life, different things you love, different things that matter to you, different values that you have, different aspects of who you are, all into one way of sharing your message, one way of leading your organization, one way of leading your business. It gets to be very multifaceted, yes, and you get to bring together components that have maybe not been seen together before. You're engaged. You're not just on the golf course pointing a finger or saying, oh, they need to do that. Now, yes, you get to have fun time, and yes, you get to weave your way that you can spend time doing things you love to do. And you are out there talking to your frontline people. You are engaged with the people that are doing the work. You're having those conversations, okay? You're staying in the lunchroom, in the break room. You're pausing by the copy machine, okay? You're aligned. You have a long range vision. You're looking ahead. You're looking at what's going on out there. You're noticing what's going on around you. You're bringing awareness to that so that you can take actions ahead of time, right? So we're not reacting, but we are organizing ourselves ahead of time to take the action. So we have this goal out here and we are taking action today that is aligned not only with that goal, but how we want that goal to feel. So if you want that goal to feel like fast-paced and adrenaline and like pushing and going, then you're going to do it that way. And if you want it to feel spacious and like you really had that time to build those relationships with your clients, and it's a real high touch type place, then you're going to build that in to every aspect in what you're doing. You're going to take those actions today to create that. The forms that you're going to have people fill out, the waiting room when they enter the business, the conversations, the way that the phone is answered, your website, your contracts are going to be laid out that way. The way that you do education with your clients is going to be that way. The format of your forms, is it bulleted or is it paragraphs? Aligned. And then undulating. This is not rigid management leadership. This is the way that we always do it, no matter what. No, it's not. Okay? Because the macro is doing this right now. The season is this right now. It allows for the cycles and the pulses. Now you have structures in your framework that are this way no matter what, and allow for the pulse and the waves and the exceptions, and have a foundation. Like, this is what we're going for no matter what. This is the goal. This is how we want it to feel. This is the way that we want those connections to be, that we want those experiences to be. And on top of that, we honor the ebb and flow of organizations, of cycles, of business, of leading. So These upcoming videos, subscribe, follow along, share your ideas, are going to be experiences that I have had or that have been shared with me of awful, infamous managers, doctors, leaders along the way. Doctors, you know this. Healthcare was my focus for a long time. It still is my specialty. You are leaders of your patients, of your teams. Whether you have a leadership title or not, you are leaders. Avoid infamy. Avoid infamy. Lead a woman's way. We'll see you soon.